Sorry about the delay in getting this episode uploaded. It's been prepared for a few days, but I've had a real mental block about actually doing it. I don't know why. Something in there. But here we go. Episode 44.
Meant to be raining this afternoon. Hasn't started yet. I got a couple of gifts yesterday from Plot Holder. Who got them from someone else. These are first earlies. They look like swifts. I'm not really sure. I recognise this. I'm not really. And these are main crop. Again, unknown makes. Possibly swift, judging from these, but who can tell? What do you want? Really? Yeah? You're not getting any more. She's overfeeding. I wonder. Yeah, so I'm going to walk these down now. I've got 3 more compost sacks, so I'm going to pop them into there. Somebody else has got loads of compost sacks they're going to let me have. The same person that gave me these also gave me some more of these seeds that come off the front of the magazines. A ready mustard, which looks very nice. I haven't got fennel growing, so I'll pop some fennel in. And I haven't got tarragon as a herb yet, so I'll do some tarragon as well. What is it? What do you want? Yeah? No, you've had loads. Yeah, you have. Don't argue with me. No, you're not. You're not fussing me just to get more food. And there we go. 3 more bags of first earlies planted. Not sure which variety. Possibly Swift. If there is such a thing as Swift, I don't know. But yeah, so we've got all of these are bags of potatoes. Didn't cost me a penny. No compost used. All from either this dirt pile, which came from around the pond, this section here where it was mounded up, and from the pony poo section. So we'll see. You know, maybe I'll be a convert and I'll do potato bags on the grounds that they don't cost me anything. We shall investigate. Right, I'm going to go home. It's pretty awful weather forecast. Cold, wet, windy. Jobs to do. I need to plant out some more bits and pieces. I've more beetroot to go along the sides, so down this side here and down that side there. Again, it's an experiment to see if beetroot actually stops slugs going past. They don't like beetroot. Some people have expressed interest in my spare broccolis and cabbages. Cabbages I was given, broccolis I've grown. I need to get the choice some planted. Choice some will be going in alongside this spinach. I must harvest this spinach. Can you remind me tomorrow? Thank you. So I'll finish off this row here and then do a second row, and that should be enough for me. Again, I'll use it as a cut and come again. I think that's all I need to do on there. The runners and dwarf beans will all wait until after about the first or second week of frost, until we're sure that there's going to be no more, and then there will be one, of course, there always is. Magnolias I will wait until planting out. There's the magnolias just here, and some more. I don't know, that's another flower. Oh, there they are, just in that little pot there. I say pot, petri dish. I wish I could talk. What else? I think that's about it for now. Everything else is as it was. Quite happy with the way it's going. And again, I'm on my own down on the allotment site, except for one of the other pot holders. One of the nicer ones, right over the far side, that gave me all of the flowers and plants that went around the allotment, around the pond. Look at this lovely bush type thing that's growing here that she kindly donated to me. This is Georgina. Look at it, that green swath That'll make a nice little low hedge. That's lovely, isn't it? Look, it's really shooting up. And I'll trim that, I'll bring the shears down and I'll trim it so that it makes a nice little just entrance hedge to the steps. Nice, and people will see it as a nice little backdrop to the pond. More herbs to come down, I'll plant them in these areas. More wildflower seeds to pop in, I haven't done that yet. Yep, just lots and lots to do, constantly fighting the weeds. Got to weed all that lot out and plant the flower seeds. Anyway, everything else is doing what it should do, just waiting on this wet and cold weather to finish, so before we can get more done. Other than that, let's go home, get warmed up. It's Thursday morning. It's, well, quite late, about getting on for 11. Today's jobs, he's looking nice. Today's jobs are going to be to clean all this lot up. This is the bank of the pond. This little bit here, get rid of all this sticky weed, and then all that bit up there, because there's going to be wildflowers there soon. At least I want to sow them. Also need to remove all the plastic off the seedlings that have been sitting around. That's because the risk of frost is over. For the time being anyway. There's still possibility of frost later on. And I think that's about all the priority jobs. One of the things I did want to show you is, let me go and show you one of somebody else's plot. Actually, I can show you here. Have a look at that. You can see the whole lot has been infested with these weeds. At the entire plot. Let me show you. Let me just walk down. You can see this plot here that was completely rotivated, but you can see the entire plot is covered in them, and everybody is the same. Everybody's plot has got these tiny little green seedlings growing, so we're gonna have to keep the hoe ready. But of course, myself and other people have sown seeds. I've got carrots and parsnips and beetroot in this area waiting to germinate, and of course I can't hoe until I know where they are. It's not so bad on this area where I pre-germinated them, but this area, of course, I won't know what's a seed and what's a weed, so we're going to have to wait. It's not looking very good at the moment. The weeds will probably grow faster than the seeds will. Not good. Anyway, I'm going to go and do this. I'll show you the before and after. Let's have a good look. I'll keep this little area of grass here, but from like here onwards, these need to come out. These are tree saplings beginning to grow, and then I need to watch out for the native bluebells that I planted. Aren't they a beautiful colour? And yeah, just get rid of all this. See I think that hollyhock's coming up. I put a row of them to signify that's going to be the normal bed of flowers, and this is going to be wildflowers, but we'll see how we get on. Yeah, a little bit of work to do. I'll get on with it. It's a very, very beautiful Sunday morning down on the allotment. It's already 12-13 degrees at 11 o'clock in the morning, and it's set to get higher. Let me go and shut that gate. Otherwise the council will complain. That sign says, please shut the gate by order of the council. Right, so what I'm down here to do, I brought down a wheelbarrow of seedlings. So I'm going to do some more planting out. Later on tomorrow, I might, or later on today or early tomorrow, bolt hardy, sorry I get sidetracked, bolt hardy beetroot bolting. Yeah. Right, so yeah, tomorrow or later on today, I'm going to bring down I'm going to do a April plot tour. No, March plot tour. Yeah, March plot tour. In the meantime though, few jobs. Transplanting, I brought down some more things to transplant, some kohlrabies, some Brussels sprouts. Now the beans are not going to be transplanted just yet. So there's the Brussels and the kohlrabies. The beans are here to start hardening off down here, and I can always cover them up again if needs be. I need to get the choice sum into the ground. Choice sum. Why can't I find it in the camera? Yeah, choice sum. Yeah, there it is. I need to get some borage and other stuff in the camera as well. Everything looking so green down here, it's gorgeous. So that area there is going to be full up. All this green area here, I need to readjust this green netting so it's higher and doesn't dig in and that type of stuff. The choice sum and some other stuff is going to go here. What I may do, coming back to this side, is I did leave these especially wide between the rows of brassicas, and I'm going to plant a cash crop in there, radish, lettuce, spring onions, something in between, so that I can still hoe down either side, but I've got a space for cash crops. But first job is something I've been meaning to do, dandelion. Oh, every day I go around with my dandelion rod. I won't do it right now, but I'll just show you what I've been doing. So this is, don't look in the shed, it's disgusting. I fell over. I go around my dandelion rod and I grab a dandelion by the teeth and I do this. Now, sometimes it will come out with the root. That's not bad. Other times it won't. And then I go and drown them. Now each day I do this and I get rid of more and more dandelions. There's some more there. More and more dandelions, and as you see, there's not a lot about. Now some people argue dandelions attract early bees, but I don't want dandelions on, bees on the dandelions. I want them on my broad beans. I want them on the peas inside there. I need to take those down today because I don't think we're going to get any more frosts or birds to attack those ones. But yeah, this thing goes in there. Look, hundreds of them. Look how thick that is with dandelions. And I tell you what, that smells. Oh, that's a good fertilizer smell. That can stay in there, and then I'll finish that later. But what I've done at the moment, look, I've got some soil. I've taken it out from the deepest part of this pile, so it's not got a lot of weed seed at the surface. And what I'm going to do, I've got some cornfield annual flower special seeds from Just Seed. I'm going to sprinkle them in there, mix it all up, and then I'm going to put these on the bank of the pond, just at that bit over there. Alright, and we'll see how we get on, so join me later. So there we go, there's the seed on top. And the reason for putting it into the soil is if you do this, it mixes it up and gives a really even spread, so you won't get big clumps, the wind won't take it away as you sow it, and so on and so forth. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk across here, walk this way. I'm going to kneel down on the soil today. Look, I've been all weeding. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Absolutely lovely, this pond. All the birds singing. You can ignore the traffic and stuff. Right, and I'll get down here. Now there are some weeds on the bank. I'm not too fussed. I'm not going to step in there because that silt is pretty damn dirty and pretty damn smelly and pretty damn deep. What I am going to do is just get this stuff, and I'm just going to sprinkle it around and then press it down. Pull out any weeds that I see. And then round here, see? And all I'm going to do over the next few weeks is just pull out the obvious weeds like the stinging nettles and stuff. Look, there's a chain of stinging nettles. And then all of this is just going to get pressed in. Let's do some over this side. This is a bit more weedy. And then just take off the surface weeds. Get rid of those big ones. And then again, just get a handful, just press it in. Just get a handful, press it in. Let's move over here a bit. Slide. Let's get a handful and press it in. Let's get out these willow seeds. I'm sorry if I'm waving about a bit. I'm a bit precarious here. There we go. And then the rest can come. Get rid of that big grass. There's mint, that's going to spread everywhere. There we go. Let's see how that takes. There we go. And as I say, what I'll do is I'll keep an eye on it. I'll just get rid of the obvious weeds like the nettles, this fireweed, old man's beard. Plucked out. Hate the stuff. That one as well, but I'll wait until I've got my boots on. There we go. That's that done for now. Right, next job. Let's whip all that end off and we'll start transplanting all the brassicas and get those cash crops in. Oh, I love my life. Good morning. It is Bank Holiday Monday. It's about 11 AM. It's actually quite quiet on the allotments today, just a couple of people on the far side. But let's do the April plot tour, 1st of May. So I'm going to start at the fruit end again and we'll work our way down. So hang on to your horses, let's go. We are of course right by the road, so there will be a lot of traffic noise. Right, so the pear tree has stopped blossoming. I did actually try rubbing another tree's blossom against this blossom, and then I put like little sprigs of blossom around from other trees. That looks like a dead branch. It's got no growth on it at all. That's strange, isn't it? Interesting. Anyway, so we'll see. We may get pears. If not, I'll find another pear tree from somewhere, I guess, and see if I can pollinate it that way. Now, interestingly, I thought all of the things in this area were actually dead, but as you see, they're all starting to come to life, which is great. I actually thought these had all died in the heat last year, but they're beginning to come to life now, which is fantastic. And I'll get these sorted. All of this will be going, this top stuff will be going in there, because I'm considering using this for other stuff. Again, I don't know what these trees are. They might be cherry, they might be pear. I don't think there's any apple trees here. None of them look like apple trees. The strawberries look very strong. Lots of flowers on there. A couple of weeds I need to get out, but this will be a little strawberry. This bank I'll weed and get for butternut squash and stuff. As you see, the bank still having its daffodils, and these throwaway raspberry canes all seem to be taken. Now these are summer ones. No. Whichever ones need 2 years to produce fruit, so there won't be any fruit this year. These will be long and stalky and take on. Another tree there that looks very healthy. Again, I have no idea what these trees are. They haven't shown a lot of growth, but they have actually got little flowers and things, so it may do. But this is the sort of thing I thought would happen. This one hasn't shown any life at all. This one's dead. His brother I gave back to the person that I got it from, but there's absolutely no life, no buds there. So that can go to the great heaven for plants. On this side, that one's doing all right. I think that might be a blackcurrant. This one looks dead. There's no growth on that one at all. This one looks dead as well. Yeah, it doesn't look very happy. What's that? Oh, it's a fern. I don't know. Right, I'll leave it anyway. It might come up, but that gooseberry's okay. Over on the bank, that's the bush that I got from outside the bungalow. One of the St. John worts things. I stuck a sapling in there. Somebody gave me a sapling and said, I'll have that to fill in the gaps. That's just there to stop people pushing past it. But if that one takes, then I'll cut down this hawthorn at some time and let that one block the way. I might cut some of this stuff here because it pushes out into the grass. Other than that, there's three, there it is. The rhubarb that I was given, that I split up, looks lovely. Everything else, I'm trying to keep the weeds out. This little bush is growing beautifully, isn't it? And again, this is going to be the, oh look, the chives have got little seed heads on already. This will be the little herb garden. They're still growing. These bushes may not take, but I have got other sage and rosemary that is taking, so I'll transplant it at some point. I'll show you those later on. The pond, unfortunately, it's just rained, and we have some sort of algae bloom. It's not multicoloured, and there is stuff growing in it, so it's definitely an algae. But a few days of heavy rain and stuff and all that will disappear. If not, I'll break it up. It's really silting up this year though, or over the years. So at some point I reckon there's going to be a need for the Highways Authority to come along and empty it out, which would be a shame because it will obviously disrupt the wildlife here for years. But if it needs must, I mean, just here for instance, it's about 2 foot deep of silt. There's only about 6 inches of water, and underneath is 2 foot deep. Every so often you'll see a ripple, and that's the creatures in the pond. So there's definitely newts or tadpoles or frogs or something in there. Right, moving on. Yeah, this is where we sprinkled all those seeds, so I'm hoping we'll get some wildflowers. This is breaking down. I need to empty all this and move it about a bit. I've been using it here to put into the seed potatoes. The top layer is quite nicely broken down, so I'll probably take off some of this and use it to, for instance, inside these rings of peas, I might drop a bit in the centre. More raspberries here. These ones look alright. Those ones will transplant. Not looking so hot, but never mind, these ones are looking good. Again, the strawberry bed looking strong. I'll keep it weeded. This has got potatoes underneath. I don't know if they'll bother growing through. I don't really care. I'm not too fussed about the potatoes. They were just given to me. It would be nice if they did grow through, but that's pretty deep. And we'll see, you know. Peas looking very strong indeed. And again, there's 5 varieties there. There's 2 on the end ones, what Dawn sent me. Then I've got Meteor and Early Onwards, and then in the centre are Monch 2. These are Meteor, and again these are the overwintering ones, looking very strong. I've actually taken off the surround now. These ones are still very, very small. It won't be long though before I pull this off, because these will be too big then for the birdies to pull up, which is why I put the green around. I may take that off and just put netting on so that it gets more air and stuff. In the centre here will be the corn patch, and then around it will be courgettes and stuff. I've got 4 sets of donated runner beans, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Might even have bolottis on there, I'm not sure. Somebody's just given me a big stack of bolottis. Over here, as you see, I think these are plants. I'll think of it in a minute. But the English daffs have gone. English bluebells are very spartan this year, but I'm sure they'll double up and become stronger. I've weeded it all, and this also will have wildflowers in. This gladioli. These gladioli will are a demarcation line between wildflowers and normal garden flowers. So I'll be planting lots of those. Rosebush, wildflower, alliums, I think. Daffodils are finished. In this area here, this will be poppies and hollyhocks, anything else I can throw in. These are not native bluebells, but you know, needs must. Right, over here, again, everything out there is at an end. What I've done is I've roughed up the soil, and I've planted loads of seeds of poppies and hollyhocks that people gave me from last year. I'll keep just taking out the big weeds here. I don't want to be too regimental about it. I'll just take out the big weeds like the sticky weed, the brambles, nettles, and anything else that's going to choke up any growth. There's what's a jasmine there? Oh, I can still see it. It's just there. Just there. So I'm hoping that will grow and take there. Moving on, this is the wild area. You can see all the dandelions that I filled up with the bin. I'm trying to get this water to take in here. This bucket's got a split in the bottom, so I put in loads of bags and things to act as a stopper to see if we can actually fill it up, but it's not happening at the moment, so I might need to just find another way to repair that at the bottom. I was hoping this would fill in as this filled up, and this plastic would spread, but it's not happening. It doesn't want to do it. I'll find another way to sort that, even if I have to get some sort of silicone along the bottom. Under here is latest compost and leaf mould and all sorts of stuff. That's dropped down a good 6 inches to a foot, so I'll probably get some more in there. The leaf mould is exposed at the back at the moment, which I don't really like, but underneath here it is beginning to break down. There's worms and stuff. I have checked it. It does need a good turn. This is the other compost bin. Again, it's not doing much, but it's full of life. Now that the warmer weather's coming, that might start off again. This is a row of, over here we have Jerusalem artichokes. There's also Jerusalem artichokes at the end of the pea bed that are coming through. These are Jerusalem artichokes. Obviously those are wildflowers. Bluebells. Yeah, everything else there. As I say, this is a row of potatoes under here, and again, I haven't done too much about them. And there's a row of potatoes under here. These are all the seedlings hardening off. There was a Cabbage White, a dirty, disgusting Cabbage White floating around, and he did land, or she did land. So on one of these is going to be Cabbage White eggs. So I'm going to have to keep a very careful check on them and see if I can see where they are. These are getting too leggy now. They need to go in the ground, but I need yeah, I guess I'll take all these and move them over here somewhere, and maybe put on some environment mesh or something instead of the plastic, because we probably won't get a harsh winter now. Some stuff needs to still go in: marigolds, borage, more beetroot. I've given away a lot of choice some, but there's some over there I'll show you in a second. All of these have got rows, but I'll try to make more up. Kale and more kale and spinach need to go in. Okay, let's show you this bed here. Oh, carrots. Carrots are doing well, as you see. I haven't needed to put this on. They're growing all right. Let's show you these. I think this is great. My friend and I both agree this is a grape. It's donated. Now, add these taken well. You can see here they've got darker colour on some of them. Some of them haven't, but these have got darker colour on, and that suggests that they're actually taken. Female thrush or blackbird, I'm not sure which. Over there. Lovely. We all seem to have a little pair. I haven't seen robin for a long time, but we've definitely got pairs of blackbirds. Nesting pairs, I'm sure. Right, so over here you can see this is taken. Look at how much green is on here. So that's taken. These ones haven't, as you see. These are just dead to the world. Oh well, can't help. Rosemary goes. Nobody knows like me. But the heather has. Look at this green on the heather. That means that that's rooted, and I can actually transplant that at some time into new ones. And the same in here. Not all of them have, but a good few. So there's one that has. This one doesn't look as though it's. Oh yeah, it's got a lighter colour. This one hasn't though. You can see there's no green on there at all. But yeah, so I'm really pleased. So we've got some free herbs, got some free heathers, and what will happen is that as soon as these are gone, I'll get a load more. Comfrey beginning to grow, poppy. Those are dying back. I'll find homes for those once they've died back. Right, this was the bin over the forced rhubarb. That's just sitting there at the moment. Here are all the beans ready to go into the ground. A lot of them are rotted because, unfortunately, like this, I forgot to put holes in the bottom, and they've become saturated and rotted. But I'll try to get as many as I can into the ground in the next week or so. But there's a lot of other stuff that hasn't taken, germinated, and a lot that has. I'm not too fussed. Most of it's donated. But there's going to be a decent crop anyway. These, you see, were all donated, and so were these, so were those. You know, so there's a lot of donated stuff. Why are you falling over, my man? You should come and stand up. There's the one that's saturated. You can fall over. You can run your little stuff out while you're sitting here while I'm waiting. There we go. That'll do. That'll run out. Yeah, okay, so let's see what we've got here. Brussels, kales, yeah, different kales, not sure, calabrese and earlies sprouting. Now, and there's a row of beetroot there. In between, I've actually put a catch crop. So there's down here you see we have lettuce, there we have radish, more radish. So there's like, while these are taking a long time to grow up, because they won't be ready until autumnish, in between during the summer, all of these cash crops, whichever you like. I'll put another one in there. Oh, I have. That's parsley. So all of these will grow up and shoot out, and I'll be able to get those out before these become too bushy and big, and shade them. Rhubarb doing nicely. Again, I won't take any of this year. There's plenty of other people with rhubarb. They'll start to go orange, but now they're going green again. So that's fine. That'll hardy up. Garlics, as you see, doing really well. Yellow tip is because of the frost during the winter and the lack of nutrients, but we've dealt with that. Here's the stuff I've planted before, still going well. That's mostly spinach. There's a little bit of kale there, but mostly spinaches. Nothing here at the moment. Some spring onions that I had in a gutter. Beetroot looking okay. That's I might just do that for leaves. I have tasted the leaves and they're fine. It's not bitter. They're quite tender, and they'll go in a salad lovely. Shallots doing okay. Nothing here, but here's the choy sum. And what I've done is, in most places I've planted 2 or 3 together and they'll bush up, and now I'll probably use them as a cut and come again. Spinach I still haven't harvested, I need to, otherwise it's going to go to seed. And here's all of the crops that were in the drain pipes, looking absolutely marvellous. Look at those carrots. I thought there was going to be a disaster like the peas, but no, they were fine. Now there's all the other peas and parsnips that I've grown, but as you see, they've got a layer of this horrible weed over it. So I can't actually do anything until they start coming up. So I can't tell what's weed and what's going to be. These are beetroots down here anyway, but here's the different other stuff I have. I really can't tell what's what, but we know that that is a sycamore seeding. I'll get rid of the other weeds later on. There we go. Over here, field beans starting to go to seed. I'm looking forward to getting the beans off these. A lot of them will go on to become seed beans for next year for overwinter crops. As you see, I planted some more that I got sent. And here's the broad beans in beautiful flower. Look at the lovely colours. 2 different types, 1, 2. And what I'll do again, because I do love broad beans and part of my staple diet as a vegan, I will probably not eat a lot. I will dry them out and put them aside for next year's seed. Bumbles, look. Go my son, go! You can do this. I'll get a better shot, better angle. Look. Anyway, he wants to be. He didn't like being a photo. Yeah, all of the runner beans will be going in soon. In the meantime, I've got crops underneath, cash crops underneath, radish, more parsley, more lettuce, more spring onions, and they seem to be doing lovely. I have actually started on this side. I've planted a few, as you see. There's the Jerusalem artichokes coming up there. As a quick aside. So I've planted some here. This looks a bit rougher because this had the field beans in. That side didn't, but this side had all field beans up. So every so often you'll see the field bean roots like this. There we go. But they're left in deliberately because the roots on those will have lots of oxygen in, and as the upper parts and the roots start to decompose, that oxygen will pass on to the soil. So yeah, it looks a bit rough, but it's actually because it's still chock-a-block with roots. And again, that space there, this space here, 2 rows, and that space there, 4 rows, will be for dwarf beans. And I may even put some other places like up the end here, when all of this excess stuff, this is my no dig beds, when all of the excess stuff on top is raked around, removed, got ready, made ready for seeds, I might put more rows in here. There's still plenty of space there to grow things. It doesn't have to be entirely for, you can always grow around fruit trees. Okay, I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else I've missed. Nope, I'm quite happy with that. So that's it, guys. I'll see you for another plot tour at the end of the May, of course. But in the meantime, I'll carry on doing the diaries in between. It's becoming overcast now, and I think it's going to shower. So the weather forecast was showers all day, but that's been amended now, I guess, as the radar has developed, to just showers between 1 and 2, or up until, sorry, between 11 and 2, but we're at 12 o'clock now, so I guess. So we might get some more showers, but after that we'll have cloud with sunny spell. So I'll probably go home for some lunch, then I'll come down and I'm going to sort out these seedlings, I think. I think what I'll do is I'll transfer everything to around this part here, and then put netting and enviro mesh over it, put the plastic away. Tuesday should go down to about -2 degrees, sorry, +2 degrees, but with a wind chill, who knows. So I might actually just put some plastic over the beans again. Everything else will be fine, but it's just these runner beans I want to keep doing, making sure they're okay. Somebody else has donated. Right at the end we have a share table. Let me point it out. Right at the end we have a share table. There it is. And on the share table, you can't see because of my finger, but on the share table, can I zoom in? There we go. Right in the centre of the screen, you might just see, my finger's going to go in, but it will, there we go, just there. Oh, dirty fingernail. Just above my finger is a bag, and in that sack is about 10 kilograms. Nobody knows where they come from. Nobody knows where they come from, but there is a seed merchant that lives over in one of the village. So he might have had some, like a small bag of seeds left over, or something, samples, giveaways, going, whatever. And so I've grabbed some. There you go. I've got about 10 seed potatoes. A lot of them have, I won't say unhealthy, but not the normal chitting, because these chits are white, which means that they've been chitted in the dark. And of course you want chitting in the light to make sure that you get green, healthy chits. Let me just show you what I forgot to. Here are all of the potato bags. Now I did say I was not going to grow potatoes, but everybody keeps giving me like seed potatoes like these and stuff, and somebody gave me a load of like that one there. Somebody just gave me that one as well for my potato collection, and all I'm doing is putting a couple of shovels of this stuff in, which is why it looks a bit rough, then putting a couple of shovels of pony poo, the rotted down stuff, then a couple more shovels of this, and then put the seed potatoes on, and then finish it off with a couple more shovels of this stuff. And this is just topsoil that came from around the pond. So it should be old compost that people have thrown weeds and things around the bank. Not done much with. That looks a beautiful blue colour in the light here, but in reality it's a horrible dull grey. Oh, it's not too bad. Anyway, that's it. That's 25 minutes of tour. A long version this time. Next time you see it, we should have runner beans in. All this should be full up in the centre, and then that's the last of what I've got space here to actually plant stuff on. I mean, I've still got celeriac, more salad materials. I've got tomatoes, outdoor tomatoes, cucumbers, outdoor cucumbers. I've got all the flowers to go in, marigolds. I've got lobelia to go around the outside. I don't know if that will show up by next time. This has got loads of stuff in. We'll have the corn in, and all this will be cleared, and I'll be planting that as well. And then I shall be wondering where to put stuff. You know, it's one of these things. I might even get like a small row of dwarf beans in here, as this has got Jerusalem artichokes. Over this side, this has got potatoes in, so this will be taken up with potato growth. That's got potatoes down there, but I suppose I could get a couple of rows in here. But you know, there we go. Have a great May.